Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. I have got obviously something fun, because why would I do it if it's not fun? We all do. Uh, I just got a wild hair, and what's funny is I said to my husband when I was trying to come up with an idea for a video today, I said, ooh, maybe I'll do a fabric masterboard. And the look that came across his face, I wish I could have videoed that and just like put that in here as like a little insert. It was hysterical. Anyway, obvious confusion and thought maybe I was using words that didn't go together. But anyway, it was quite funny. So, okay, I have mentioned before that I am working on a pale pink and black journal. So I have just grabbed in some pieces. I thought I'd make a fabric masterboard using some pink and black bits and pieces. So I've never made one of these before, and I brought you guys along. Sometimes I try to make a prototype. This could be a complete and utter disaster. No idea. But it'll be fun to find out, right? Okay. So, yeah. I've got, well, we'll just start sticking it down, right? Because there's no need for nonsense and constant talking, which is, kind of what I tend to do. I got the lace pieces to put on last, but look at this. This lace to me is so absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it looks really vintage and yummy. Temu. I don't even mind because it's so pretty. I don't even care. And it's the most gorgeous. I don't even know if it's showing up as a pink on the camera, but it is, in fact, a very pale pink. So some of these may not show up as pink as they are, but all of this stuff is pink. This fabric was my inspiration for the pink and black journal because I thought it was so pretty. And there goes my phone. Give me just a second to see if this is important information. And I need to pause this just a second. All right, I'm back, and now I have put my phone on mute, which is what I'm supposed to do in the first place. Now, if you see, this is just a plain piece of scrapbook paper. I went with a 12 by 12 so I could make it nice and big and actually get some stuff done. I like this butterfly paper, but I have a lot of it, and it's kind of a thin scrapbook paper. It's not a cardstock, and so I thought this would be good because you're using a lot of glue. You're going to sew, or I will sew around these pieces once I get them done. And so then I will probably back the pieces to kind of hide the thread on the back and also make it able to be written on. Okay, so I am going to start, I think, with some of the pink and black, like right in the middle. Some of these pieces are smaller, some are bigger, and we're going to be overlapping. I mean, that's just what I've seen done. We're going to overlap, so don't worry about that. And I like the fact that there's a lot of strings and stuff, so I have left a lot of strings on here. I like that kind of rough and tumble look. Now, what I have done, I have got one of these silicone spatulas, and because I don't want the glue to show through, I am going to spread it out as, thin as possible, but still with it able to stick, rather, not thick. You don't have to have a lot of glue because you're going to be sewing. If you were doing this without sewing at all, you might want a little bit more glue so that you would make sure it was fully stuck in all of that. But there we go. And that way the glue doesn't come through. Now I might go around some of the edges and just get a little bit if it's like really far off so that it doesn't come loose before I try to sew it. Okay, so pretty start to the day. All right, now this is white, obviously not pink, and it's not going to show up very much, but it's an eyelet fabric, and I just love the look of it, so I thought I would include that. Now where I am overlapping the fabric, I'm going to put a little bit of glue so that it will stick to that before I get it sewn. Now, things don't have to be straight or anything like that, because by the time you get it cut up, you're not even going to be able to know. So I also have some very sheer fabric. Now that's upside down. That is a sheer kind of daisy. Look at that. But it is pretty, and I am going to use it. And maybe I should have coffee dyed the paper first, but really that wasn't the look I was going for, so I didn't. And let's just see what we can do. I should have a story to tell you guys while I'm doing this. A lot of my stories involve either falling or some trauma to me. I had some trauma this past week, which was why it took me a while to get a video made. My dog Gibson escaped my house, which is not good because he's a part pit bull type dog. And I just feel like anybody, we're in Oklahoma, if they see a pit bull and they don't like the looks of him, you know, they just shoot him rather than call somebody or try to catch him or anything. They would just shoot him. And so I'm always scared because people don't know that he's really just a big old baby. And okay, now I see that I did not come over the fabric there, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some lace there so it won't even matter. Don't even stress yourself out. This is really quite a simple project. Yeah, so he escaped. I cornered him underneath a some steps connecting to a porch at somebody else's house, and in trying to get him out from underneath those steps, with him not wanting to be caught, I bruised the heck out of myself. And so I'm a little bit sore, y'all. The bruise got a little infected, and I think I cut myself a little bit. And so I had to go to the emergency room. I'm not even kidding. It got infected like in one day, where the red streaks were coming out even. Now, I washed it and did all that kind of stuff, and still I might have hit a rusty nail, or who knows. Yeah, so just not fun in any kind of way, not even a little bit. Oh, bless the dogs. We love them, and we want to choke them, but that's okay. So my week has been kind of full of pain. How have y'all's week been? Feel free to tell me in the comments if you've had some kind of catastrophe befall you. I hope that's not the case. But if it is, we can just pray for one another. All right, now I already have some glue here, so I'm going to just come over. Yeah. So Gibson is so fast. There's no way I'm keeping up with that. Gotta tell you. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm gluing, I cannot say words. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any bubbles. Some of this fabric is more bubbly than other fabric. But the thing is, you know, we're not going to leave it like this. We're going to cut it up and make some fun fabric ephemera. And so even if, you know, there's some glue spots or whatever, we can cover it up with a butterfly, another piece of lace, a flower, or whatever, so we don't have to worry about all that. But I like how this is coming together. Oh, but y'all, I know you can't see that too much, but it's still swollen and really painful and bruised. So I'm not having a good day, but I'm trying to get on here and do this. because my husband's going to start physical therapy this week, which is a good thing. We're excited about that because we don't understand why physical therapy hasn't been, kind of, ordered before because of his back. Nope, they just stuck him in a back brace and said, okay, this will keep you from having surgery for a while. But they did nothing to try to strengthen his back or anything, and I thought, that just doesn't seem good. Okay, you see where this says this? I'm going to need a stronger fabric to go there so that it won't show through. What am I going to do? I may have to get a piece of black fabric and put it there. Did I bring a piece of black fabric with me? I did not. Okay, I'm going to pause it and get one. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, with all the pink and black I'm doing, and I had absolutely no black fabric. That was smart. Okay, I'm going to put that right in the corner to cover that. Make sure I am recording. Okay. And so I hope you guys are getting to do some crafting today, having a good time, and no tragedies or anything like that going on in your life. But anyway, my point, I remember now what I was saying, was that my husband's going to have some physical therapy, so he's going to have like 2 appointments every week for several weeks, and I need to, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to get some videos done, and I am trying to get ahead of the game and have some banked, but I'm really horrible at that. But I am going to cut this into 2 videos. I'm going to get this glued down, which this seems to be taking an eternity. I'm sorry. I'm going to do one video where I hope I'm not hiding this. I hope I'm on frame and all that. If not, I apologize. I should probably look and make sure. I seem to be. I'm going to do one video with just kind of gluing this down and everything. Then I'm going to sew it, and we're going to come along, cut it up, and make some stuff with it, and then decorate those things. So I think it could be kind of fun, and I hope that you guys will join me, maybe make one of your own. Now I am not very good at masterboards of any kind. I just never feel like they look right. I feel like they're kind of cumbersome, and I figure I'm just doing it wrong. And I watch videos on it, and I feel like I'm failing, but anyway. This is kind of not looking like a patchwork quilt of any kind, but it's fun, I think. And I hope you guys also think this is fun. Make sure, okay, I think I'm off camera up here. Let me try to get this up here. Anyway, this is really fun making this. I wasn't sure I would like it. I thought I might be too scared, but I find this fun. But then I absolutely love to work with fabric, probably more than paper, even though I also love paper. But I adore fabric. And I think I don't know, I've told you guys before that I worked at 2 different fabric stores when I was going to college. And I loved it. Remnants are my thing. And I used to sew a lot more, like clothes and stuff. Not really for myself. I have sewed a couple things for myself, but I'm not very good at sewing for myself. It's harder to measure, I think, and that's why I don't do a lot of that. So I'm trying to make sure I'm getting all the bits in here. Here's one I haven't done. Maybe I'll bring that up here. So this is actually a kind of trim that I got, but I can't think of the kind of material it is. It's see-through and really soft. I like it. And it looks not as pink on here. It almost looks more like a salmon. But maybe it'll dry, not, maybe it's just darker because there's glue under it. I don't know. Okay, so I just got the 3 pieces of black. I'm trying to think of a story that's not so tragic. I mean, painful. Oh, also, I think I've told you guys I've been battling ants. I don't know. That's another thing I've been battling. I love the country, but it's also a bit maddening. And maybe I should just stop talking and do this. I am struggling to hold conversation down and figure out where I want to put things. Ridiculous. So, yep, I cannot think of a single thing to say. Horrible. Normally, I'm a pretty good conversationalist, but sometimes I'm horrible at doing it while crafting. I see these people and they just can tell stories, and maybe they've just got more going on in their lives. I don't know. I don't really have that much going on in my life right now. It's all kind of dealing with my husband's doctor visits and the housework and dogs. And I have a dear friend that her husband is battling some pretty significant health issues, and it's just, I want to be there for her. It's so sad. If any of you know somebody who has a debilitating disease, then you know what I mean. Just help check on your friends who are struggling like that. Just check on them, because the depression, the anxiety is so there when you're taking care of a loved one who is struggling. Anyway, the joy of the Lord is my strength. That is one of my favorite Bible verses, and it's also a song. Do you know if I start saying song, I'm going to burst into song. The joy of the Lord is my strength. 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 I like that song. I really, at one point in my life, thought I should do a sermon in church based on that song, because so many people, it seems like, have lost the joy in serving the Lord, and I just want to help people remember that every day is a privilege, and to enjoy it. Don't worry about this space. We'll cover it up with something here in a minute. I feel like I'm knocking everything on the floor. So, stories. Okay, I don't remember if I've told you guys the story of my mother. I think I come by all of my calamities honestly, from my mother. She had so many, but this one was a family running topic. We had to talk about it all the time because it just cracked us all up. And if you would have known, like, my mother was not too much of a talker or anything like that. She was quite shy. Now, if you got her alone, she could talk your ear off, but if not alone, she was shy and wouldn't know what to say. So this one time, one of her best friends from California, I'm going to have to turn the fan on, y'all. I'm starting to get really hot. One of her best friends from California, we called her Aunt Dorothy. She was hilarious, and she was not shy, and she was loud. And she came down to visit from California, and they went to Branson, Missouri to, hang out and do fun things. And I'm going to hold this here and measure it. They went to this thing called the Waltzing Waters. And my mother had seen it before, I think, with my aunt, her sister or something, and thought it was really beautiful and thought my Aunt Dorothy should want to see it. When you walk in, if you get there late, it's going to be dark because before it starts, it's quite dark to get your eyes accustomed to the dark so that when they start the waters dancing and everything, that it's even more magnificent. So they got there late, and so when they were walking in, they had to be careful because they could not see where they were going. They couldn't see where seats were. There were not assigned seats. They were trying to get close enough to see, but not too far away where my mother couldn't get to a bathroom easily. She always wanted to sit where she could get to a bathroom easily. So they were feeling along the seats as they were walking in. And my mother would probably be horrified that I was telling this story, but also crack up a little bit. She had a good sense of humor. But anyway, they're feeling along, and as they're going along, my mother is thinking, this seat has got some interesting, material to it. It's got an interesting feel to it. So when they got sat down, she's rubbing it with her elbow like this, y'all. And she's rubbing it, and she's like, that feels different, And she's rubbing it, and just as she's about to put her hand on the seat to feel it more with her hand, the Waltzing Waters started, and everything lit up, from the stage. And she sees that there is a man sitting there, and he is staring at her, but he has not said a word. He has not coughed, or excuse me, anything to just kind of let somebody know that you're sitting there. He's just staring at her. She was so horrified that instead of saying oh, pardon me, I didn't realize anybody was sitting here, I would have over-explained, I was just feeling this material and, thought it was an interesting material and so sorry, I didn't realize it was a person. But she didn't say anything. She just says to her friend, she turns away from the guy. Didn't say, excuse me, pardon me, anything. Turns away from the guy and says to her friend, we've got to move. Well, of course, my Aunt Dorothy was a little hard of hearing. She goes, what? And she said, we've got to move. She goes, what? Because there's also music playing with the Waltzing Waters. So this just cracks me up. This is so typical. And so she finally gets, I'm going to make this piece a little bit smaller. She finally gets, she's saying what again? And so my mother goes move. And so she gets her to move. They go back, and I think she thinks mother had to go to the bathroom, which is, they go to the back. Mother's trying to tell her, have you ever tried to tell somebody a story quietly that is funny and you should not be laughing out loud because like you're in church or something like that. And then the more you try not to laugh, like the harder you laugh. I don't know. That happened to my sisters and I all the time. So she is trying to tell her, and she's just dying because she's mortified also. And she's just dying. And she gets it told. And my aunt goes, well, Betty Jean, like, calls her name out. And Mother's like, you know. Anyway, so funny. These two were such characters. And, yeah. So, that was my mother. She felt up a stranger in the dark. Hysterical. Oh, my goodness, y'all. So, I come by it honestly. There are more stories, I'm sure. Sometimes I have to tell other people's because I can't think of my own. I know there are more stories of mine, but I can't remember what I've told. I'm going to have to go back through and like listen to my own videos and write down what I've told, make a list, you know. I haven't done that, y'all, but I need to. Then you won't be, of course, some of you may not have seen any previous videos and you wouldn't know any of the stories. So I could probably retell them. But if you are a returning person, you're going to be like, okay, it was funny the first time. It's not really funny now. Anyway, okay, some of these are a little big and I may have to cut them smaller some kind of way. I don't know. But and some of these see-through ones are going to pick up the fabric underneath. I kind of think I like that. So I'm not really concerned about that. Anyhow. So embarrassing stories run in my family and continue. They just continue. I was a nanny in California, straight out of high school in Malibu, California. And I sunburn easily because I'm very, very white. And the family went to Hawaii and left me there, weirdly, to supervise because they were having work done on their house, which that wasn't really a good plan. I mean, what am I going to do? I was like 19 years old. I'm not, really capable of supervising work that's going on. I mean, the only thing I could do would be like call the police, I guess, if somebody was trying to break in. But anyway, I decide that I am going to lay out and get a suntan, also while washing the cars. I thought they had a lot of cars, and I thought I'll just wash the cars. They were kind of dirty. And I'll do it in my swimsuit and get a little bit of a tan. Well, I didn't factor in how long it was taking me to get this done. I did not put any, or I think I might have put some sunscreen on in the very beginning, but didn't reapply, which if you're as white as me, you have to reapply. Anyhow, I got so sunburned. It was horrible. I kind of feel like I've told this story. I don't know if I have or not. I think I have. Well, I've started it now, so if anybody's new, they're not going to know it. All right, so then I was healing from it, and then if you're healing from a burn, it itches. It itches like a mad dog. And so I was itching like crazy. It was really, really bad. And I had to sing at church the following Sabbath, and I was itching so bad, I was literally losing my mind. Well, I had met a doctor and his wife while going to church there. And in fact, was supposed to be going out to eat with them, not out to eat, but to their house and eat after church that day. So I had their phone number and I felt like I could call. So I called and I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it to church because I got sunburned horribly. It's healing now and I am freaking out. Itching like a mad woman. And so he told me to take some Benadryl. I said, all I've got's children's Benadryl. And he said, well, just double up and it'll be okay. You'll be all right. So in my hysteria, I did double up, but I read it wrong. So I actually ended up like quadrupling the amount that I should take. And it did not go well at all. I think instead of doing that, I'm going to put this little bit of lace here. So then it didn't kick in right away, but I was able to get a shower and I was getting ready for church, and I leave and I'm starting to drive up Pacific Coast Highway, and the sleepiness kicks in. Y'all, I am swerving. There's no guardrails. Even if there was, you know, people can go right through guardrails. Oh, it was not good. I just started praying, calling on God, asking him to help me. Oh, it was terrifying. And I finally get to the church. I get up to sing, or I tell the people what's going on. They're like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So they get me a stool to get up and sing with. And oh my word, it was really not good. And I looked at that stool, trying to figure out which one of these is the, okay, this is, I might have put it backwards, I don't know. I look at that stool and it's so high, and I raise my leg at one point. I'm in a dress, so I don't know what made them think I could get on a stool that was really high. I raise my leg and I realize I can't sit there. And I raise the other leg and it's not getting better. So the guy that was playing the guitar for me and singing with me, he was in a chair. So he gave me the chair and he took the seat, or it was like a bar stool. And I couldn't tell you the name of the song right now. Not for love nor money. Could not do it. And, oh, that I got through this is just unbelievable. But I can imagine that people thought I was probably drunk. I hope that somebody explained to the congregation, she's not drunk. She took some medication and it's got an adverse reaction. That's what I hope. I honestly don't know. I do not know. Okay, I have a little piece of glue here. I'm just going to put on a little bit more and just put another piece of lace right next to that. Oh, y'all, God has protected me so many ways. I don't even understand. Yeah. So that was embarrassing. Oh, afterwards, they put me to sleep in the pastor's office, had me to lay down on his couch, and I just passed out. And I knew nothing more until they came and woke me up and told me that service was over. Can you imagine? Oh, my word. I can't. So that's my story. Anyone else? Anyone else? I'm going to cut this piece a little bit smaller. Oh, can you imagine? Some of my stories involve like medical mishaps. I'm not going to tell those. I feel like you don't really want to know all that, so there's a lot of those though too. Doctor visits, female issues, horrible. All of them horrible and traumatizing. Okay. Some people just pat this with a napkin, which I probably should be doing. I'm just touching down some lace in some various places. Trying to put, you know, black where there's more pink and, you know, and the pink anywhere. But I hope this is going to turn out good. I feel like it's turning pretty. I'm not really too concerned if this lays down exactly because I am, like I said, going to sew around it all. And I am losing my stories. Some of them are just like almost unbelievable. And my psyche wishes that they were not true at all. So I'm just throwing on a lot of this lace because I just think it is so, so pretty. I cannot, I swear, figure out sometimes. Well, I feel like if I can't figure it out, no one else is going to know that I glued it down wrong, so. So there we go. I'm trying to hurry so that I'm not keeping you too long. I've probably already kept you like too long. And I don't want to do that. Oh, there. My husband has a phone call. I'm going to have to pause. Okay. I'm back. He has to answer all the calls just in case that it's an important, you know, doctor calling or whatever with results from anything or changing of appointment times. So a lot of time it's just spam though, and you're annoyed that you've even answered the phone. Or a wrong number. Okay, I'm going to try to move some of this out of the way. I've got just a piece left. I feel like it needs to go somewhere. I don't have any pink over here. Okay. So I hope you guys join me for making something with these because I think that is going to be fun. And we're going to put that right there. All right. I think we've got it all kind of spread out predominantly. I like it. All right. Come back and join me for the rest, y'all. Have a great day. Hugs.